So today I'm going to be doing a video discussing how strong is Larcade. Now Larcade's character, he has been a very special character since his introduction, and there's been a lot of controversy surrounding his strength, surrounding him as a character, just everything. So today I decided, you know what, why not make a video dedicated to our boy. Well, I don't even know if some people still classify him as their boy because, like I said, he's been very controversial, but nonetheless, why not make a video discussing Larcade Dragneel. Now, for starters, when Larcade was first introduced, he was pretty much the last Spring and 12 member, or at least one of the last Spring and 12 members. I know for a fact he was like the last two, but he was one of the last Spring and 12 members to get revealed, like actually revealed, because for the longest, we only saw silhouettes of him, and we kept like hearing him being hyped up. Like, at first his name was Rakid, to be honest, and I don't know if that was just like a huge translation error, because like when he wasn't revealed, they're calling him Rakid, and I was like, okay, it's Rakid. Then when he got revealed, it was Arcade, so I'm like, yeah, manga stream, you guys need to hop on that. But no, in all seriousness, when he was a silhouette, we pretty much didn't know anything about him, because even when he was over there helping out people like Demaria, she was like, he didn't like working together with other people, so it was kind of giving us characterization about him while he still wasn't revealed. And one of the biggest things that we seen from him was his actual reveal, because when he was revealed, I'll tell you, first-hand experience, the community went crazy. Just seeing another Dragneel member, that's what just took everybody off the top. There's lots of theories flying around, just seeing him, and we're just like, oh my god, like, was this not his brother? Was this his father? Was this his son? Was this his uncle? Was it a distant relative? Like, once Larcade got revealed, there were a whole bunch of different mysteries surrounding him, and that was honestly one of the best parts, just theorizing about who he is, what's his role in the series and everything. So that was one of the greatest parts for Larcade's introductions, and not to mention his power. His power is very unique, because basically, I'm not too sure, this hasn't been 100% confirmed, but after I looked on the wiki a while back ago, I saw that his magic was called pleasure magic. Now, I don't know if that's just like a temporary name, because he hasn't really used too much like spells or anything, so we don't have like a clear-cut name for his magic. But his magic is very spooky, because it basically kills somebody off by having pleasure. Like, I guess that it takes them to like their happiest moments, to like their soul just gets like so happy, and then they just end up dying. Like Larcade, his magic is very strange, and I think it's dope, because it's not like some typical just like, oh, I have like this strong fire magic, or strong water. Like, no, it's something that's just completely different that we haven't seen before, and it's also very dangerous. We've seen his fights, like when he first rescued Demaria, he pretty much killed off a bunch of fodder like it was nothing. And I mean, even though it was fodder, it was still dope seeing his ability and how it worked like that. So yeah, Arcade, his ability is actually really tough. And then we move on to his first major battle, which is with Kagura. And a lot of people, they were getting hyped up, because Kagura, she's kind of like one of those characters that, even though she doesn't get as much like screen time, she's still like very hyped, and like she's seen as somebody who's on par with Urza. So the fact that somebody like Kagura was going in to go fight against Larcade, who we really didn't know too much about, we knew that Larcade, apparently he was the trump card for Acnologia, and a lot of people there wondering, okay, how is he going to be the trump card? Because Acnologia, the only people who can defeat him are END and Zeref with Fairy Heart. So that's like, what, 0.1% of the series of the people who can defeat him. So to just throw somebody in that category, that's like saying that, oh, okay, this guy's the next Michael Jordan. You gotta sort of like, whoa, you gotta realize what you're talking about. You can't just be throwing around that title of being able to defeat Acnologia, because people like Gildart's couldn't do it, August, Elaine, these strong people couldn't defeat Acnologia. So when you're just coming out here saying, oh yeah, that guy could defeat Acnologia, he's my trump card, and we know nothing about him, we didn't know anything about his magic at the time that Zara said that, we were like, damn, he must be the real deal. Like, he must be up there. And his fight with Kagura, me personally, I know a lot of people, they're going to have a lot of gripes with this, because Listen, when you say that you're on par with, or when you say that you're the person who defeat Acnologia, you expect them to come out here to start one-shotting everybody. That's what I thought for a little bit. I slick thought that, but then I started thinking to myself, okay, I don't think he's gonna be one-shotting everybody. So his fight with Kagura, it was actually pretty impressive on Kagura's standpoint because she was putting up a good fight, even though it seems like that Larcade wasn't going all out for the most part. It was actually pretty dope seeing him fight on par with, or see Kagura fight on par with them, and actually give him a little, I'm not gonna say she like gave him work, but she pushed him a little bit, but in the end he ended up defeating Kagura. Now, speaking of getting defeated, the most controversial fight that I've seen so far is Sting versus Larcade. Now, me personally, excuse me, and by the way, if you guys are new to my channel, if you guys haven't seen my previous video, I'm a little bit sick, so that's why my voice sounds like this, and that's why I'm coughing. But you know, the grind doesn't stop. We're gonna push through it. We're gonna keep on pumping out videos. But yeah, the one thing I gotta talk about is the Larcade and Sting. Now, Sting, let's just talk about his character for a bit. He is a fan-hated character within the community. Let's be honest. There's a lot of people that don't like Sting simply because the whole Grand Magic Games thing, him not going up against Natsu not going up against Fairy Tail at the time when they're pretty much injured. There's a lot of things that people don't like about Sting. Me personally, Sting's okay. I don't really have a problem with him. I don't hate his character, but I'm not the biggest fan. But at the same time, I was one of the people who was at first thinking to myself, I was thinking, you know what, Sting should get destroyed, he should get demolished, there should be no way, blah, blah, blah. But after giving it a little bit of thought, I was like, you know what, I think it would be dope if Sting actually did defeat Larcade. But this, like, granted, this is me saying this without, like, me knowing it would have happened. Like, on one side, I knew it would have been so much BS because, like, Sting is nowhere near Acnologia level, and I just knew that for 100%. But at the same time, I was like, it would kind of give a different term than just having Natsu defeat him, or, you know, having one of the top dogs defeat him. Like, let some of the other Dragon Slayers get some shine throughout this arc, because we seen Wendy, she got her shine against Demaria, you know, she got to do her thing. Gajio against I forgot the guy's name, but you guys know the one guy who's basically using all the Tartaros is demons. Like, all the other Dragon Slayers were getting some shine. So I was like, you know what? Let's have Sting get some shine, because he's pretty much been on the back burner for a while, but now he's actually been putting in work, and he actually defeated Larcade. Now, granted, it wasn't all just Sting. He did have to use the help of Rogue, the power of Rogue, to defeat Larcade. So it's not 100% Sting's power. It was kind of like Sting and Rogue. So yeah, him defeating Larcade, that was a huge L on his record. Now, speaking of Larcade, he is currently defeated right now, and me personally, I don't think he's done. I don't think he's done, because we seen him, he was basically like laying down there just saying, Father, how this happened? And then Zeref was like, he was looking a little bit sad for him, but I don't think that Larcade is done, simply because he's been hyped up throughout the series. Well, not even throughout the series, like throughout like the past like 50 or so chapters. Excuse me, but yeah, he's been hyped up. The whole Mavis thing, the whole reveal of Mavis being his mother, and saying that the only person who can defeat him is either Mavis or Zeref. I think that if Larcade is taken down and he's like completely done, that's just gonna be, it's just gonna be retarded. Like, let's be honest here. Like, Hiro Mashima might have been writing this chapter while he was missing a chromosome, because yeah, if you can't just have this whole big revelation that Mavis is one of the few people who can defeat him, and then have Sting and Rogue come in here to defeat him, like, that just doesn't make sense whatsoever, because what's the point of even writing that in? And not to mention the fact that they're saying that he could defeat Acnologia, and so we know what the, I'm about to puke even having to say this. Sting being able to defeat Acnologia. Ew, no, Sting being able to defeat Acnologia, ew, no, that would be disgusting. So the fact that Sting could take out somebody who's on par with Acnologia, that's just power scaling just thrown off the railing. Like, that's just like, yucky. But me personally, I don't think that we saw Larcade go all out. I think he was just still underestimating Sting because he only used that one spell, which was the RIP thing. So that's another reason why I think that Larcade will be coming back, and not to mention the fact that he does have a rivalry with Natsu because he is jealous of Natsu because there he was caring so much for Natsu. He was like, my younger brother, my younger brother, my younger brother. And on the other side, that was basically making Larcade being rejected by his father. So that's why he doesn't really like Natsu, and we need to see that confrontation between Natsu and Larcade because that would just be dope, seeing two more Dragneels sitting there talking with each other. Hell, we need to see Larcade talk with Zeref like face to face, and we need to see all three of them together in the same vicinity because that would just make it even more dope. Now, I know at this part you guys might be thinking, okay, you've been talking about Larcade a lot, you've been discussing his character, you've been discussing his W's, his L's, and his importance, but how strong do I think Larcade is? Now, do I think that Larcade is on par with Acnologia? No, I think that Zeref, he was overestimating Larcade because of his magic. Because his magic is pretty much, it's not necessarily, I wouldn't say it's like an instant W, but it's like a huge magic, and it's like one of those hard things to like counter. So it could kind of be seen as a counterpart. But another thing is, I don't think it'll be. I think that Acnologia, the King of Dragons, the guy who's able to defeat Igneel, will have some better counterpart than just having the whole magic defeat him. But the one thing that I do want to talk about is his strength. Now, I do see him being up there with August and Elaine, and that's not too crazy to put because we know that August and Elaine, they both can't defeat Acnologia, and we do know that those are the top tiers of the Spriggan 12, but having Larcade in there, I think that's a perfect mixture because we seen August. He was mad at him, but he didn't really do anything. And I think that's because of his strength-wise, because I think August knows that if he did try to attack Larcade, it would be two of the strongest Spriggan 12 members going at it. So I don't have him up there with that level of him being able to defeat Acnologia, you know, him being on E&D and Zeref with Fairy Heart's power level. I have him somewhere around the same level as Irene and August. Hell, I will put him as the third strongest Spriggan 12 member, right behind August and Irene. So overall, that's basically it for this little video. How strong do you guys think that Larcade is? Do you guys still think that he's that trump card for Acnologia or not? Comment what you guys think down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.